Ever had that little voice in your head criticizing you, telling you you're not good enough, or making you doubt everything?
Oh, that one. My constant companion, especially at 3 a.m.
It pops up just when you're about to try something new or when you make a tiny mistake.
Exactly. It's like it has an internal alarm clock just to mess with me at the worst possible times.
And what if I told you that voice isn't really you, and that it holds a secret about who you truly are?
Okay, you've got my attention. What kind of secret are we talking about?
Get ready to dive into the B-side of your mind. Today, on The Quantum Soul, we're unraveling the mystery of your shadow. Hey there, Quantum Souls. Welcome back to The Quantum Soul, where science meets spirituality.
And mystery.
That's right. And buckle up because today's topic is deep and maybe a little spooky for some.
Today, we're talking about something we all have, but few truly understand. The shadow.
And no, we're not talking about the one following you around on a sunny day.
We're talking about the concept from the brilliant psychologist Carl Jung.
Jung said the shadow is everything within us that we don't want to see. Our fears, our shame, our bad impulses, everything we sweep under the rug of our psyche.
Like that messy closet you shove everything into right before guests come over?
Precisely. It's our psychic junk drawer that we pretend doesn't exist.
But what happens when we ignore this shadow? And why does it insist on talking to us, especially when we're alone and vulnerable?
That's what we're about to find out. Stay tuned. And trust us, you're going to want to stick around till the very end of this episode.
Absolutely, because by the time we wrap up today, you'll have a completely different perspective on those nagging thoughts, and you might just unlock a hidden power you didn't know you had.
Get ready, because next up, we're diving deep into where this shadow actually hangs out and why it loves to show up in your negative internal dialogue.
Let's go there.
So you mentioned that voice that's your companion, especially at 3 a.m.
Yeah, the one that likes to remind me of every awkward thing I've ever said or done.
Right? That's the shadow making its presence known. It loves to hang out in our internal dialogue, whispering doubts, fears, and criticisms that seem to come out of nowhere, but they're definitely coming from somewhere inside.
It's like the ultimate backseat driver for your brain. Are you sure you should do that? Remember that one time?
Exactly. It's the shadow projecting our insecurities onto others, like, ugh, they probably hate me, or making us feel guilty for thoughts we didn't even choose to have.
Man, it sounds exhausting just dealing with it. Is there something bigger going on here than just a noisy brain?
Oh, absolutely. And this is where things get really interesting, connecting the dots between this inner critic and something much deeper.
Okay, I'm leaning in. Tell me more.
Because understanding why we have this shadow and what role it plays takes us right into the heart of spiritual wisdom and the nature of the ego itself.
All right, let's go there. What does spirituality have to say about this inner struggle?
So, this is where the spiritual side of the quantum soul really shines. Many traditions across different cultures and times talk about the ego.
The ego. Yeah, I hear that word a lot. What exactly is it in this context?
Think of the ego as this mental construction. It's the story we tell ourselves about who we are, our identity, our past, our future goals. It's what makes us feel like a separate me.
Got it. So like my name, my job, my favorite pizza topping, that's all part of the ego package.
Pretty much.
I'm sure.
And the shadow? It's a huge part of that ego structure. It's the stuff we deny about ourselves to maintain that specific image. The good, right, acceptable image we want the world and ourselves to see.
So the shadow is the messy stuff the ego tries to hide.
Exactly. It's the parts that don't fit the brand of who we think we should be. But here's the kicker. The spiritual journey, at its core, is often about realizing the illusion of that separate ego and moving towards wholeness.
Wholeness, meaning accepting
all of ourselves?
Precisely, integrating all the parts of who we are, the light and the shadow. Trying to ignore the shadow is like trying to fly with only one wing. You're just not going to reach your full potential.
That makes sense. You're expending so much energy just keeping that one wing hidden.
Totally, and it keeps you stuck. But here's something for you to think about. What is this part of you you're hiding, desperately trying to show you so you can become whole? What hidden wisdom is locked away in that shadow?
Okay, so it's not just this annoying critical voice. It actually has something important to say? That's a wild thought.
It really is. And this is a game changer. The shadow isn't your enemy. Think of it more like a messenger.
A messenger. Delivering bad news, mostly, from my experience.
It can feel that way, for sure. But the messages it carries, while sometimes uncomfortable, are incredibly valuable. Our fears, for instance, often hold clues about what we truly value and what we're afraid of losing.
So if I'm terrified of failing, maybe the shadow is pointing to how much I actually care about succeeding?
Exactly. Or that suppressed anger, it might be pointing to boundaries that have been crossed or a need to stand up for yourself. And shame, that often highlights areas where we desperately need more self-compassion and acceptance.
Wow, so the negative self-talk is basically the shadow banging on the door saying, "Hey, look at me. There's something important here."
Pretty much. That painful internal dialogue, as tough as it is often the shadow just begging for attention. It wants to be seen, acknowledged, and ultimately integrated.
And what happens when we actually listen, besides feeling awkward about having a deep chat with our inner critic?
Good point. But when you start integrating the shadow, you actually reclaim a ton of energy that you were spending trying to keep it hidden. You gain authenticity. You're not pretending to be someone you're not.
Okay, that makes sense. Hiding stuff is exhausting.
Totally. And you unlock a creativity and spontaneity that were locked away with those repressed parts. Plus, you stop projecting your own demons onto other people. You know when you get irrationally annoyed by a trait in someone else? Often, that's your own unacknowledged shadow looking back at you.
Oh man, you're telling me my road rage is actually about my control issues?
Could be. It's like cleaning out the basement of your soul. It's messy, there's some cobwebs, but you find some incredible stuff down there you forgot you even had.
All right, you've convinced me. This shadow thing is important. But how on earth do you actually do that? How do you start making friends with this shadow?
Great question, and that's exactly what we're diving into next. Get ready for some practical steps.
Okay, good, because talking about it is one thing, but actually doing something about that inner critic feels like a whole other ballgame.
It can feel daunting for sure, but integrating the shadow isn't about becoming bad or letting your negative impulses run wild. It's about bringing what's hidden into the light so it doesn't control you from the dark anymore. It's about becoming more whole, more authentic.
All right, I'm ready. Lay it on me. Where do we even begin with this shadow integration thing?
All right, first step, and probably the most crucial one, awareness.
Awareness? Like just noticing it?
Exactly. Just observe your internal dialogue without judgment. When that critical voice pops up or you feel that surge of shame or anger, just notice it. Don't try to shut it down or argue with it at first. Just, oh, hey, shadow, I see you there.
So instead of getting swept away by the negative thought, you just point at it.
Pretty much. It's about creating a little distance between you, the observer, and the thought itself. The thought isn't you.
Okay, awareness, got it. What's next?
Second step, and probably the most crucial one, curiosity. Instead of repressing or judging the shadow's message, get curious about it. Ask yourself, what is this fear trying to protect me from? Or what unmet need is this anger pointing to?
So instead of,
"Ugh, I'm so stupid for thinking that." It's more like, interesting thought. Where did that come from?
Exactly. You're becoming a detective of your own psyche. You're looking for the message, not just reacting to the feeling.
Okay, awareness, curiosity. This is starting to feel less scary.
Good. And the third step is acceptance. You don't have to like the shadow or the uncomfortable feelings it brings up, but you accept that it exists. It's part of the human experience. Trying to deny it just gives it more power.
So it's not about getting rid of the shadow, but acknowledging it's there?
Precisely. It's like accepting that some days are sunny and some are cloudy. Both are part of the weather. Both are part of you.
Okay. Awareness, curiosity, acceptance. Those seem doable.
They are. And there are other ways to work with the shadow too. Things like journaling about those forbidden thoughts, therapy with a professional who understands these concepts, expressing yourself through art, painting, music, writing, or even just talking to a trusted friend about those sides of yourself you usually keep hidden.
So bringing it out into the open in a safe way.
Exactly. It's about shedding light on what's been in the dark.
Wow. So it's not a quick fix, but it's a path towards feeling more complete, I guess.
Absolutely. It's a journey, not a destination. And it takes courage to look at these parts of ourselves. But the rewards are immense. More energy, more authenticity, and a deeper understanding of who you are.
That makes a lot of sense. So, after hearing all this, how can someone start reflecting on their own shadow?
Great question. And this is where we invite you, our amazing Quantum Souls listening, to do a little introspection. So, take a moment, maybe after this episode, and ask yourself, what is the most common criticism that little voice in your head throws at you? What's its favorite broken record?
Oof, yeah, mine has a whole playlist.
Right? And in what situations do you feel like you're really hiding a part of yourself? When do you put on a different face?
That's a good one. Makes you think about who you are when no one's watching.
Totally. And here's a big clue from Jungian psychology. What flaw in others do you find yourself judging the most? Often, that's your own unacknowledged shadow looking right back at you.
Whoa. Okay, that's a powerful one. Gonna have to sit with that.
It really is. Remember, the journey towards wholeness begins by acknowledging all parts of the path. The shadow isn't a monster under the bed. It's just another landscape within us waiting to be explored and understood.
And maybe, just maybe, it holds the key to unlocking something incredible.
Precisely. It's about integrating the mystery within ourselves. So, there you have it. A dive into the fascinating, sometimes uncomfortable, but ultimately empowering world of the shadow.
Are you ready to start making peace with your own shadow?
If you found this exploration into the hidden side of the mind helpful, please hit that like button and share this episode with someone else who might need to hear it.
Seriously, sharing is caring, especially when it comes to understanding ourselves better.
And make sure you're subscribed to The Quantum Soul and have that notification bell activated so you don't miss our future episodes where we'll keep exploring the mysteries of consciousness, the universe, and, of course, ourselves.
We've got a lot more mind-bending topics coming your way.
Leave us a comment below and let us know, what was your biggest insight about your own shadow today? We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Your insights help us all learn and grow.
Thanks for joining us on this quantum journey.
Until the next exploration,
Stay curious.
and embrace your whole self.
See ya.
To continue your journey into the depths of the mind and the mysteries of existence, just click on one of the videos appearing on your screen right now.
Choose your next adventure.